Welcome back to the group stage of Kharak Cup 12. Going to be continuing with Serum versus Fear here now. Coalition versus Conef, fun matchup there. I think Fear probably going to take this one, but we'll just have to see. Probably a bit more up in the air than the other ones. This is the last match from Group Stage A, and you should know if you've been watching the other casts already that these two players probably both going to be in the lower bracket already at this point. I think that's guaranteed, yeah. But you know, they might as well fight up for glory here on Torrent Crater, so. Not sure whose map pick this is, but if it was Serum's, it would make a lot of sense. Fear probably going to go Sport Cruiser first like he's been doing. Serum with the double salvager here, no basement retirement. Oh, excuse me. Probably not... Whoa! Probably not going to be anything crazy from him. And we shall have to see. Scary, scary base runner does start moving out. I've said this many times, when you're playing against Conef, you know, find the base runner. That's kind of the priority here, because you never know. You could be doing some blast drone shenanigans. You definitely want to know. I actually thought there was one there for a second. No, that was the death pack. Probes are nice for this. I'd probably send out a probe if I was Fear. I just never... Well, I guess I'm afraid, huh? of the blast drones. Get it? Because his name is Fear. Anyway, I would check it out though. You know, you want to know where they are.
Rally point set. Move to location. Support cruiser now operational. Proceed to new coordinates. Base runner online. 10 minutes wasted. Salvager online. Research completed.
Blast drones are being produced here. You see one of them come out of the base runner just then. Certainly no rush though. First blast drone in 2 minutes is not at all, you know, very quick. Looks like Serum just wanted to play pretty standard here. I think he's gonna get refiner mode in just a second. Have to see though. If you're keeping that probe on the blast drone, I think actually having seen where it is, I would just check out the main and then head back. But I would want to, you know, keep tabs on that thing. No tabs going to be kept whatsoever though, as the probe actually does end up getting killed there. But Sport Cruiser is out for Fear. Gonna start mining on the RUs first actually, that's interesting. And I think he actually took some damage there to the det packs, which is pretty funny, but probably not going to be too impactful. Serum though, still with no refinery mode. I think this is getting a little late now. He's floating quite a lot here. Fleet capacity 45 first is probably pretty safe, but you're going to want to get refinery mode as fast as you can. A turret was actually set up here by Fear. I noticed this, by the way. Probably a bit overkill, but will protect him against the blast drones nicely. If they come through that front door anyway. Normally you'd expect to see him around here, but kind of means he can use those LAVs, you know, a bit more dynamically, because he doesn't have to worry about that main base location so much. Serum actually, before refinery mode, getting a second production cruiser. Yeah, you gotta click on this though, dude. Especially you've got the long distance miners and the production cruisers there and stuff. I don't know. Another thing, by the way, Conef long distance mining is slightly more effective if you turn on the mobility support. It's a small deal, but you know, you might as well. From small advantages come great victories. Fighter and gunship fabrication coming out for Fear now, actually before AAV fab. And Serum got a pretty nice sensor net here with these sand skimmers, but refinery mode just now on the way, like 4 minutes in, which is pretty late. I don't know, not sure what else to say. Just pretty late. Base runner picks up an artifact here for Fear. It's the close one actually. That's a nice pickup there because obviously Serum gonna want to get that one next. Instead he's gonna have to go back to his close artifact. Some LAVs continue to be made by Fear here. So the second production cruiser is out for Serum and assault ship fabrication comes down the line. You know, Fear, he's really got enough LAVs that he could push out across the map at this point. I think maybe he's going to. Sand skimmer gets dunked over there. But he pulls back, so he's not going to be charging across the map anytime soon.
Place additional fleet capacity deployed.
It looks like Sarah looking to get up onto 3 base now. Actually, Fear not doing that, which is something I've noticed from his play in general, is he doesn't really get up on the 3 base, does he? Oh, and moving his carry. This is probably just a misclick. I think he wanted to set a rally there.
Fighter ready for service.
Railgun fabrication starting to come out now. And one reason why we don't usually see fighter and gunship come out before railguns or AAVs is because of the production upgrade. You don't get that slot if you get fighter and gunship fabrication. And so, you know, you can only make one strike fighter at a time. So the kind of shock and awe tactics like I see people use don't really work if you get strike fighters first. Strike fighters starting to launch now. Just 2 of them so far. Third one gets launched too, I guess. And they're probably just going to be tasked to fight off these sand squirrels, actually. I'd maybe strike the eco instead, but... Ooh, okay, it's not as bad as it could have been, but... 3 LAVs get taken out by the blast drone there. Oh man, the splash damage potential here is huge. Fear kind of missing his window to do that, really, but... Oh, man. It's still kind of working, though. So Sandscare is definitely getting kind of dunked on here, but I don't think anyone's really coming out on top of this fight. Of course, Serum would be if he takes out a strike fighter. So the base runner actually gets that kill. It also gives him some speed, so we got a speedy boy here. Yeah, I don't know. I think that turned out pretty nicely for Serum. Bunch of LAVs going to come out from Fear in response. Interceptor fabrication also on the line for Serum. No assault ships were made. I think I've seen him do this before in the in this group stage. And actually, Fear gets mag accelerator, which is kind of weird. He doesn't have any railguns on the field, does he? Normally, this is something we reserve for when the railgun fight's about to take place. Sandscare is trying to come into the backline and attack that third, but they'll find there actually is no third. But with the strike fighters hammering on them, literally, that's their name, hammer, I think the LAVs here are going to be able to hold just fine. They should probably just get back to the support cruiser though, make sure they're getting that healing. But yeah, either way, this is definitely going to be held off. Not too much difficulty. And a turret getting set up by Fear, kind of in a strange position here too on the low ground in the middle.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed in. Railgun operational. Railgun enhancements on. Recovered an artifact. On our way. Confirmed. Escorting base.
Yeah, so some railguns are starting to come out now for Fear. But yeah, normally we wouldn't see mag accelerator until you're expecting to take a fight with them. And in fact, when you're not versus opponents' railguns anyway, often you can delay mag accelerator for a long time. Instead, prioritizing those armor upgrades and then eventually, it's numbers. I mean, it costs money, right? Big thing from Fear that I've noticed though so far this tournament is he's not expanding onto his third base pretty much ever. Definitely something that I would recommend. It's gonna make a big difference for him if he chooses to start doing that instead. Afterburner on the way for Serum here, as well as 1 interceptor is in the pipe. It's got no RUs though, what the heck. So, yeah, it's going to be a while before he gets those interceptor numbers up too much. But once he does, he's going to start chunking these strike fighters on there. Production cruiser actually takes one out already. You know, Fear, I think, has clearly watched some replays. Like, I can tell he's making pretty wise decisions as far as, like, what units he needs and stuff. Generally been pleased with what he goes for. Okay, why does one strike fighter sometimes recharge way faster than the other? You saw those two docked at the same time. But one of them is recharged way faster than the other one. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Anyway, Fear so far just not quite able to do any damage to the eco of Serum, which is definitely ahead of his, being on 3 base and all. Serum, actually, though, I'm a little concerned for because he hasn't really made anything other than just like a bunch of sand skimmers, right? He's got interceptors on the way, but I feel like the army from Fear just slowly getting bigger here. Especially these railguns I'm worried about. Like, if Fear keeps the railguns safe, he might just be able to siege Serum off of his 3rd base there, which would be big problems for him. And also, I think there's no there's armor 1, I guess, on the sand skimmers here, but this LAV is going to be doing quite nicely. Yeah, so Carrier starts getting hit, and Serum's going to have to concede his 3rd base immediately. He just doesn't have anything to fight it off with. Interceptors actually come out now. So I guess that's fair, he's got one thing. The thing is, though, if these LAVs just stick around with the railguns, they can actually shoot down interceptors, like, surprisingly well anyway. Production cruiser getting targeted now, actually. I wonder if he's actually going to kill off that production cruiser. No, he changes targets. He might have been able to, honestly. Like, he's got a lot of strike fighters here. Base runner going to get denied, but there's actually not too much anti-strike craft coverage here. Getting an anti-air turret close up. He needs to actually get a normal turret right here. He's going to get no turret, though, because he actually uses the CUs right before it's ready to go, with the carry production upgrade, support cruiser stuff getting queued up. Yeah, I know, I mean, you actually need like a normal turret here. Okay, he actually is going to set one up, looks like. No, he's going to set up an I don't even know. Oh, there's AAVs here, what the heck? Alright. I'm so smart, guys. Okay, he actually is covered pretty nicely. I didn't realize he had AAVs right there. Another support cruiser is on the way, and I'm hopeful that this means Fear is going to expand onto his 3rd base. He really needs to get doing that. But the anti-air post is up there. Normally Coalition Air, not really any match for Gaussian Air, but if you've got an anti-air turret post, you can actually fight that. And if you got the numbers, you can too. I mean, you can see just how many strike fighters there are versus only like 3 interceptors here. You can just clear out one of the turrets in the middle. Amazingly not killing in one shot. A little bit unlucky there, I think, but that's fine. And Serum just going to dock these guys immediately, so he's definitely a little afraid, you can tell. I don't know, I think this bodes fairly poorly for Serum. I just don't see like what he's got going for him so far this game. That guy just clipped through a wall, but that's okay. You know, if Fear's army just getting stronger and stronger, he's actually not going to expand up to his 3rd. He's actually just using the support cruiser to hold the main, kind of. I mean, he wants to be here probably, but he's actually just going to go for a power play from his carrier here, which, you know, to be fair, he probably can pull off at this stage, but it's kind of a risky move. I don't know about this, but we'll see. We'll see. Interceptors, meanwhile, they taste blood in the water. There's no support cruiser anti-air, so they can do whatever they want to these bases if they care to. A lot of missiles being dumped on a probe there, though. I think they're just going to dock after this. Very passive airplay so far by Serum. Bomber's actually on the way now. But yeah, I mean, like, these bases here could just totally be wiped out by those interceptors if they wanted to. There's a bomber up right now. I'd use the bomber too, so like, send out the bomber and then the interceptors and just kill off a support cruiser, right? You might as well check to see if there's support cruiser anti-air. You always want to see if your opponent's got that. Because if he doesn't, you know, it's like free real estate, bro, and you can just go in there and do whatever you want. Fear has finished anti-air tech now, by the way. He hasn't made any of them yet. I assume he just, I mean, he doesn't know about these bombers here, but once he does, I assume he's gonna start making those. Carrier missiles coming out now. Those do a lot of damage to carriers, mind you, especially in Denoro. Oh, what the heck? So a bunch of salvagers actually getting chewed up here as well by the Sandstorms in the backline. Suddenly this is looking pretty good for Serum. Oh, and the bombers and strike fighters pop out all together here too. It's pandemonium. I don't even know what's going on over here at this point. If you're trying to dock immediately, though, I guess he got a little spooked by the interceptors being out there. But he can actually hunt down these bombers. There's no anti-air here for his opponent. His carrier's at 30% now. And I think the Conif carrier will just kind of chase him down here. Ooh, it's close anyway. Serum definitely doesn't have vision of that carrier anymore, so he's gonna back away. You can go for the blind shots though, sometimes you can make that. One Spore Cruiser goes down already for Fear. Yeah, but the turret emplacement and the AAV is definitely going to protect this second support cruiser, but the damage for Fear is almost catastrophic at this point. This is why I was saying he should just hold back and use that support cruiser to set up a third.
Railgun online.
Getting that carrier healed up, that's good. I almost wonder if Serum's going to be able to just snipe it here with bombers and whatever. Nah, probably not. Yeah, and he's going to try it though. It's taking a lot of damage. Does he have the ammo upgrade? No, he doesn't. Takes the carry down to 18% though. If you're smoking it in case there are railguns, there's not actually in this case. He's safe that way. But... carrier's so low though. I mean, if Serum can figure out where it is and just bombard it with missiles, I almost feel he just wins right here. If you're not moving his carrier at all, just staying totally stationary, that's not going to be good. Bomber's going to strike that carrier again. No, they're actually hitting on the railgun. Well, kind of. They actually do manage to hit the carrier too. But, yeah, there's just a lot of damage coming out from those cruise missiles there, and Serum's entire army just kind of melts away here. Actually, he does have railgun tech. I guess I didn't see him getting that tech. But, oh my gosh, carrier's at 3% health now. It's like 600 HP. Certainly Serum wins this if he just charges in with the carrier and hits like one more shot, but he's going to back away. I really feel like he should have just had it right there. You're getting dangerously low though, that's for sure. And he's gonna move back in! The absolute mad lad. I mean, honestly, at this point, like, if Serum just gets the two bombers to launch at the same time, he can kill off that carrier right here. But his carrier is really low too. Oh my gosh, actually. And he can't run because he's kind of... I think he's gonna go down here? What? No, certainly not. You gotta use the missiles, bro. Try to take out those railguns. What is happening here? Is Fear gonna win? Oh, it's close. He goes down. What? I guess my prediction was accurate. Oh man, that's crazy. I can't believe it. Hold up, I need to get the second replay in here. Oh wait, did I already do that? I think I did. Oh, Serum, how the great are fallen. I really think he should have had that. Oh no. Yeah, so in that position, like, his carrier was pretty low, and I guess he was a little spooked by it, which is fair, but he could actually have just... Wait, do I have it in? No, I don't. He could actually have just continued to push in there, and I think he just would have won flat out. Just like one more missile, and his carrier was going to go down, right? Okay, let's get this in here. Sorry, it's taking a bit longer than usual. Here we go. Gonna be the Shallows for game 2. The Shallows is a map that I actually have a lot of trouble versus Conf on. I don't know, I just feel like it's tricky to get around like this area here, especially like Conf siege cruisers there are crazy good because it's both close range and indirect fire ability that they get from that position. So it's really hard to weed them out of there. I mean, like, if you have railguns, which I guess I'm a big railgun player, that's probably one of my problems here, but it just seems so hard to fight them there at all, you know what I mean?
Multiple artifact signals have been detected within target range. Fleet Group 1
Fear probably going to go with Sport Cruiser first again. It's been sort of his go-to so far.
Salvager online. Salvager online.
So Serum getting Sandskimmer fabrication pretty early and putting long-distance miners onto CUs. I normally wouldn't recommend doing this, but I wonder what he's got planned here.
Proceed to rally point. Secure location marked. Research completed.
Oh, you know what? Sphere actually is not going to Sport Cruiser first this time. He's LAV spamming. That's interesting. Bit of a change up from the last game. Actually, from every game he's done so far. I'm pretty sure he's gone Sport Cruiser first every game that we've seen of him so far this tournament. Serum once again going to get second PC before Refinery mode. This one's a lot earlier though, so he can actually do something with it if he wants to. It might be a Sandskimmer rush. So, I mean, we don't see any RUs at all, right?
Attack vehicle in service.
Sandskimmer rushes are pretty nasty if you can get the right setup for them, and this I think is kind of the right setup. LAVs first with no AAV tech on the way. So what you could do theoretically, and I've worked this a couple times, get like lots of Sandskimmers out and then just like charge in there and kill off like a Sport Cruiser or something, and then get Refinery tech back away, and then you're on 3 base. But I'll probably make a video about this at some point, you know, like my build order video series, which is just started. I mean, it's only one of them so far, but that'd be something that's pretty nice to know, I think, because it's really easy to execute as well. It's just pretty coin flippy, because if your opponent gets like armor, you're kind of done for. So AV fabrication coming out for Fear. First Sport Cruiser is already out. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of rush here from Serum actually, but oh, in fact, you know, like a Sandskimmer rush is a base for a retirement build anyway, so yeah, there's no chance he's going to pull that off. I don't know, I'm just kind of curious like what he's going for in these games, because Refinery Tech is really delayed, and he gets like a second production cruiser, but only off of 1 base like economy. He can't really produce anything anyway, so I'm not sure really like what the plan is.
Be advised. Proceed on route to recover the artifact. Salvager online.
Second base getting set up now by Fear.
Research completed.
Wonder if he's gonna go RUs or CUs this time. It's CUs, yeah. Maybe he's not going for air this time, but I don't know. He's gone for air every other game as well, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does. He's pretty much got the money for it too.
Armored assault operational.
There's a lot of Sandskimmers from Serum there, but really nothing else. And Sandskimmers are not very scary, right, if they're just kind of on their own. Well, I mean, I guess this base burner operator would have something else to say about that, but... Uh-oh, Serum... Oh, no, he did that on purpose. Yeah, he wanted to take out the turret, I guess. I thought he had just kind of accidentally wasted it there, but no, he just threw it through so that he could take out his turret. Which is rather fortunate. Sandskimmer's definitely going to clean up this this artifact extraction here. And Armor 1 comes out on the Sandskimmers, but they're not going to get too much value out, are they? If there's already, you know, armored assault vehicles here. Yeah, I don't know what Serum's going to be able to pull off with these Sandskimmers. Like, there's no way they can just run through. They're all just going to get killed off. You know, Fear maybe could consider getting a gunship here, actually. We usually would never recommend that in vanilla, but against this many Sandskimmers, it could work.
Facilities upgraded.
But yeah, just a whole lot of nothing these Sandskimmers are able to do, I think. Refiner mode finally coming out now, but it's on like the 5-minute mark that it gets started. Oh gosh. Or, well, a 5-minute mark about that it's going to get finished, to be fair, but still, that's really, really late.
Salvager online.
To be fair, though, there are 2 production cruisers out here, so I mean, Fear himself, he needs to get onto a 3rd base or he's going to fall behind. And I think this is what we've been seeing from Fear so far, is his early game's pretty strong, but he just never gets onto a 3rd base. So if he doesn't, he's probably going to be a little flat-footed here, but, you know, to each their own, I suppose.
Weaponry systems currently active.
It's interesting. Just kind of looking at the terrain here. Like, it looks like you should be able to move, like, all the way back to here, but if you look in the sensors, sure enough, it's actually bricked out. Like, it tells you there's a rock there. I don't know, just a little strange, I guess. Second extraction gonna come out for Serum now. Sandscammers just gonna YOLO in there. They think they can fight these AAVs. I mean, you know, I guess they can, sort of, but it's just so inefficient, you know what I mean? This AV here can smoke himself. He actually tried to, but he missed. That's funny. The carrier's point defenses are pretty bad, actually. Normally I would put them onto repairs, just like repair the AAVs during the fight there. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, if we check the units lost, there's probably already other fights that went on here. But Fear is definitely ahead there, right? He lost like 1 AV, I think he killed like 4 Sandscammers. That's not a fight you want to take if you're Serum. Especially with Heavy Vehicles Armor 2 finished now. If he takes it again, it'll be even worse. Railgun's coming out from Serum now. Off of 2 base economy, gonna be 3 pretty soon. Again, like I said, Fear really needs to be expanding to a 3rd base faster because he should be way ahead at this point. But he is making that support cruiser. I hope he's not going to move his carrier out. I'd rather see him, you know, get that set up over here. But we'll just have to see. AV's taking a dominant position in the middle, and it is going to be a gunship. Look at that. If I were Fear, I wouldn't be making LAVs here. I'd just make more AAVs. But to be fair, he does see the railguns. That may be the reason for this. But, you know, I would actually send the AVs out, continue chasing down this base runner, yeah, just like that. And get that thing killed off there, just to make sure he doesn't extract again, right? Railgun's getting hammered on, no kind of power play going to be put out by them because of these strike fighters being in the air, which is good. And the gunship is going to finish in just a second, and then that's going to be pretty nice for taking out these Sandscammers as well. There's actually a little bit of a window here. I think Serum could maybe get some damage in, but gunship going to finish in just a second here. That ought to be launched probably just immediately. Launch him. Launch! No, he's not going to fire him. I would just send him out immediately. Let's kind of hammer on these Sandscape. Well, you know, maybe he's waiting for like another more opportune moment, but I guess we'll see. More railguns getting killed off there. That's nice to see. I think Anti-Air's out though now. Yeah, okay, so you're definitely going to want to be careful with the don't go in there. That's a death trap. Yeah, that was painful. He lost actually every strike fighter right there, so ouch. And now that the Anti-Air is out, I don't think there's really much of a window for that gunship to get much damage in. I definitely would have fired it immediately, just tried to punish those Sandscammers as fast as I could. Still though, Serum here running basically just Sandscammers still. There's like a couple railguns out. So Fear getting railgun fabrication of his own, but his AAVs are going to be quite dominant in this position. It's not going to be easy to push on Fear at all here. Once the railguns come out, I hope he just, you know, produces railguns to match his opponent. He should be fine here. This is still a pretty even game. Probe gets launched here, but I think he's just going to get smacked down immediately. Yeah. That's one reason I really love having missile ships with an army, by the way. Oh, good barrage there, wow. Is because they also just smack down those probes. Your opponent not really going to get any good vision of the map on you. Which is nice, you know? If you're going for this extraction, but he's kind of equivocated a little bit here. I don't know if he's going to make it, actually. The railguns are kind of getting into position to where they could really do some damage to this. Well, okay, with the AV smoke, actually, he probably makes it. But I think he's going to have to sacrifice all these units for it, though. But the big story is he's coming in on the back lines here. Actually, Base Sprinter Smoke kind of not helping him here. It's going to allow those AVs to close the distance a little bit, but looks like not going to be capitalized on. They are going to have to fall back here. The railguns are definitely having the better of them right now. But the extraction comes out for Fear. And the AV's not really able to clean up the sand skimmers as effectively as you'd think. I guess just those railguns were a bit too much for them. This is actually a really big railgun count now for Serum, and Fear just now beginning to make railguns of his own. I think the Strike Fighter is probably a waste. I don't know if he's going to get any value out of it. In this case, Mag Accelerator, good. I like that. Another Sport Cruiser comes out, so he's kind of unlocked this carrier here, but this is a really dangerous field for a carrier to be on. A lot of railguns here, a lot of DPS. Probably wants to get that Sport Cruiser on the base as well, but yeah, that's fine. I think maybe Fear's best bet here. There actually is not much railgun armor, to be fair, and he's got railgun armor 3 with the Mag Accelerator. So his railguns are looking pretty good. But I think his best bet here is to try and hold the choke with the AVs. Ooh, I don't know about this. Yeah, railgun fight not being taken too convincingly either for you. Strike Fighter gets launched here too. There is actually a missile ship in the air. The gunship would be nice here, right? Oh, and the gunship is going to get launched, but where to? Looks like he's going to hunt down the sand skimmers. But in typical vanilla gunship fashion, he doesn't even fire once. Oh my gosh. Yeah, never mind. Gunships are just trash in vanilla. They're actually usable in the mod, which is a big improvement. Oh boy, that you hate to see it. You hate to see it. 4 railguns out now for Fear. Looks like there's only like 5 left for Serums. I'm not really sure how all those railguns died, but Fear is taking care of the numbers. It looks like he's got a lot of resources to work with here. You can see how many railguns he's able to queue up. Getting his power reserves as well. Yeah, good call if you're already, you know, having this much money. Anti-air turret post? That's probably a misclick, huh? I think you definitely wanted just a normal turret post in that position. Gonna want to smoke that base burner out. But the thing is, you can also charge forward off of these smokes here. Looks like he doesn't want to though, he's gonna back away off of that. And the stalemate kind of continues here. Look how many railguns for Fear. This is true railgun spam. Which is good, that's what he needs to do here. His railgun counts are about the same. No, actually Fear's ahead there. Gaussian railgun's generally better 1-for-1, but they're more expensive, so I'm not sure actually who would win this fight. It's probably just going to come down to the exact positioning of it. Carrier coming in first here is a bit risky, but it is a nice screen for the LAVs, but there's not too much power in that carrier, so normally you'd see more power in the carrier at this stage. The railgun fight going to start getting taken here, and 3 railguns from Serum just randomly isolated here. That's not going to be good for them, although they do have high ground. But Fear definitely wants to get up onto this position here where he can get that high ground advantage. Charges in with the repairs all on. That's good. I want to find those railguns of his opponent now. Focus fire is not coming in just yet. There's a focus fire. It's a bit late though. This flock of AAVs is quite large though. I didn't quite notice before. They're gonna smoke up. They could push on this maybe. Looks like they're gonna choose to back away. And that Conif carry, which has done so much damage in the past, is kind of hunting him now. Yeah, Railgun's getting up onto that high ground finally. That's definitely where they want to be. If you can take this fight with high ground, like, almost guaranteed you're gonna win it. Yeah, look at that. Suddenly the damage output is just, like, tripled, it seems. Sarah's Railgun's definitely gonna go down here now. The carrier's got a lot of power, but it's not powered up just yet. Definitely gonna want to put that power in. Ooh, a lot of damage from these cruise missiles, though. I mean, Fear's probably fine to actually charge on top of his opponent's carrier at this stage. That obviously negates the power of that cruise missile. You can't fire at such close range. He's keep producing units, so I guess he's kind of out of RUs. I think because he switched into the strike fighters. Also, powers are 4 pretty expensive that way. But yeah, you gotta either commit and like drive on top of him or get away. It looks like he's gonna drive on top. I think he can. Railgun's doing a lot of damage here too, and Sarah's carrier might just go down at this point. Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, there he goes. That's the game. And Fear takes game 2 as well. I gotta say, not quite in the most convincing fashion. I think like there's definitely something to be said for the 2 base power play, but if you're not gonna really commit to it, I think getting 3 base is almost always just better. I'd like to see him start doing that as we move into the brackets here. Hopefully he watches this video before he plays the game, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, well played, I guess. I enjoyed it, and I really enjoy that Group Stage A is now finished. Let's go ahead and check on the standings here on Battlefy. I'll just pull that up real quick so I can show you what the rankings were. Sorry, this is taking a little bit of time. I didn't have this loaded up before I started, so I'm a little slow here. Okay, standings. So A-Game came in on top, you know, undefeated. That's fine. Maze with a 1 win and 1 tie, and Fear with 1 win and no ties. So it was pretty close between them. But Maze, of course, won the series with Fear as well. So if they had ended up tied, he would have come out on top there. And then Serum with no wins, 1 tie, 2 losses. So he's going to end up on the bottom of the group stage there. Pretty good result for Fear, I'd say, in his first tournament. But the big story, I think, Maze and A-Game heading up into the upper bracket. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you next time.